Big Ten, they dropped their schedules last week, and we gonna get into USC schedule right now. See who they got coming up. It's looking they got three opponents on the schedule that I'm worried about. Let me make it bigger for y'all so y'all can see this. Tap in, tap in. You know, tap in. But they got as you can see, Fresno State early, uh, and that one should be a win. They have Gary Patterson as their defensive coordinator coming in. He was a former TCU guy coming in. Hopefully, he establishes some tackling in the practices. That's what we want. That's what we want to see. We want to see the old USC, the early 2000s, create some linebackers. Hey, somebody in there that earns a 55 jersey. That's what we want to see. So. Hopefully Lincoln can get those guys in there. I know the offense is going to be the offense, but the offense can only do so much, and these freshmen can only do so much. So the plan is to get these guys or the plan is for Lincoln just to make college football playoff this year and hopefully win a game. I just don't want to make it and just get bounced right when we get in there, because that's not what we want. And I feel like a lot of USC fans are content with just making it and just getting bounced. If we get bounced, I feel like Lincoln Riley still needs to go in that instance. And then the thing with Gary Patterson, like how many years is he gonna be there? What's the plan with him? Is, does he want to stay? Like, I feel like Gary Patterson just wants a head coaching job after this. That's why he took the job, maybe. He wants to get back into coaching because it's like he's kind of older. And is he going to be the DC for however long Lincoln wants to be there, or if Lincoln keeps on winning, you know, um, is he going to be his DC for that many amount of years? Hopefully he establishes a defense that stops the run and stops the pass because we play a lot of spread and it doesn't look good sometimes. The zone that they play and the tackling doesn't help. The missed tackles doesn't help. So I'm not worried about Fresno State, Louisiana, Rutgers. The thing about these games is just letting up points because when we played Georgia Southern last year, we gave up 17 to them. When you see other D1 schools or top Power Four, I think it's the Power Fours. Like Clemson's of the world, Alabama. I'm not saying Clemson last year, but you get what I'm saying. You know, in Alabama too, but they don't let the defense score sometimes. It's only like 3 points, 7 points. Like Oregon, they only give up seven or things like that. So I would love to see some shutouts from these mediocre teams like Fresno and Louisiana. But the thing is, Fresno might have went into the portal this year and got some guys, so they might be a little iffy on Fresno's side. Louisiana, the top guys are gonna probably go to Tulane and LSU, and then you got Rutgers, and then week 4 you got Oregon early. That is good. I like that. Get it out the way. The only thing when I first looked at this, I was like, oh damn, this no. I'm looking at there's no Notre Dame, bro. Like that 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 sweet logo, man. What is it? It's an old logo. I don't know that historic logo. I guess you could call it. I want to see that right there in the schedule. But you have Penn State, week 6, and then you have Washington. Are th- okay? Both of those are home games, Oregon and Washington. So that's good. You're not going out there. Lincoln should be able to win these games. If he hasn't learned from last year's Oregon, I don't know if you can't fire him right there, but if he loses against Ohio State or Indiana, we're at Indiana, by the way, so that should be a good one. If he loses those ones, yeah, I'm gonna have because it's always the four. Like last year, we had the four big games, y'all. The four big games was Illinois, Michigan, Notre Dame, and I said Michigan. It was Michigan, Illinois, Notre Dame, Oregon, and he lost. He went one out. He went one out of four. He only won against Michigan, and Michigan had a freshman quarterback, Bryce Young, and their defense was subpar. Their wide receivers was subpar. They did have some running backs, but we played Michigan football against them. We rushed for 230 yards against Michigan. We pounded the rock. We did what we had to do. We had a walk on King Miller, shout out him. You know, and we did our thing against Michigan. But everybody else, it's like, hey, that was top competition. They're at full strength. They had their guys, and Lincoln wasn't wasn't up to the task. We lost. It was a close loss against Illinois. They ran the ball down our throat. A lot of key plays, and the defense was looking soft. I mean, the only person that day that were looking good was 88 and Jakeem Stewart. So hopefully we got some bigger dudes in the portal. I was looking at an Arkansas game. It was just like so like Arkansas wasn't good last year. Their defense was terrible, but you could just tell the size difference from USC and Arkansas. Like the boys were just bigger, you know. And then Washington, Jeff Fish, and then I think their quarterback that entered the portal came back. He Mm, I don't know. Like, why would you accept them, Jeff? Like, come on, man. You didn't have to. If I like, we have to set an example in this day and age, and I guess we can't do that because of the money flowing. College basketball is what it is right now. There's no coaches setting an example there. It's like, hey, we're gonna take 26, 25-year-old guys, and that's just the game we're gonna have. So, I mean, the quarterback, Damon Williams, turns on the program, then comes back. I wouldn't, as a player on that team, it's a side I always to him. Hey, man, I don't know if I want to rock with you like that. I don't know if I want to give you dap all the time. That dap ain't really got love much to it. So, and then Penn State got a new coach coming in from Iowa State. The thing is, I think that's gonna be easy win. That's gonna be on Penn State. I was looking at their schedule, or Josh Pate was talking about their schedule a little bit. Uh, we're like the only team on that schedule that's kind of hard for them. So our game is kind of like a prove it game for them to make it into the playoff, and they're taking a whole bunch of Iowa State players. I'm not really worried about it. I mean, you're establishing Iowa State at Penn State, so it's like how much more better can you get? I get it. Matt Campbell's next year's going into recruiting and things like that. They're expecting more out of him. But yeah, they just wanted a new change of voice in there. James Franklin, was the same thing over and over again. They were tired of just being close or tired of losing big games. So they do that and make the change, just transfer over to Iowa State. But they say Matt Campbell's a good coach, so I'm ready to see if USC's up for the task on October 10th. You know. And then on Saturday, October 24th, oh man, I miss Saturdays, how they used to be, man. Ah. Anyways, Wisconsin, we got them at Wisconsin. I think their Wisconsin's place is very historic, I guess, and they do the Big Red and all that. A lot of Big Red schools. I feel like Wisconsin's kind of the same as Nebraska and all the others. Indiana might be the same now, kind of. Don't hurt me now. Don't hurt me now, playing. But yeah, Wisconsin, they keep their coach from last year, which a lot of their fans didn't like. So hey, we should wipe them out. Maiava, all of these games, Maiava um, he should be decent. It's the interceptions that kind of hurt him. These defenses, I think Washington will have a tough defense. Penn State will have a mediocre, subpar defense. I feel like, we'll run the board up on them at 100%. Washington, mm-mm. Yeah, y'all gonna probably soundbite this if you want. Hey, I'm just telling you now, Penn State they're gonna be in for a rude awakening at Penn State, at Happy Valley. It's gonna be the sad valley. So, and then we got Ohio State at home, which is beautiful. I love that. The players, there's no complaining from Lincoln Riley there. He probably begged for that one or saw it 5 year when he got the job. He was like, "Hey, I see that down the pike and we want that at our house. We'll pay for it. We'll pay for that home game or something. Yeah, they do. Ohio State, they're going to be tough. They have their freshman quarterback returning. Jeremiah Smith is going to be on a tear, and then he's going to come out to LA. So Jeremiah Smith is looking to do something to us. You know what I'm saying? So Jeremiah's gonna be looking to have a day there. Our corners, hopefully, our corners are ready for that. You just have to play zone or two man on these guys. You can't play man. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know why a lot of coaches still play man on Jeremiah. Nah, bro, you're not gonna win those one-on-ones against him. Maybe you want to take that. Maybe you just want to let him eat and don't let the rest of the team eat or whatever. So. And then we have Indiana. That is going to be a tough one. Indiana, Kurt Signetti, that team is just going to be tough. But hopefully, a lot of their 24 and 25-year-old guys are off the roster now, and the roster is just different. I know they bring in Nick Marshall, a wide receiver from Michigan State. He's supposed to be pretty good, one of the top receivers in the portal, you know. And yeah, I think that one's going to be tough. I feel like that one's going to be a loss there. Ohio State's going to be tough. That one could be a loss, but I feel like coming into this one, Lincoln Riley has to be like 9-0, man, or something like okay, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, he has to be 7-0 coming into Ohio State, honestly, or 6-1. I really don't want to see that loss against Oregon. You can't slip up nowhere. Penn State should be a win. Ohio State, man, yeah, Ohio like Indiana, Ohio State, those should be your two losses right there. 1 to 2 losses right there. Then you have Maryland. I love Maryland's new freshman quarterback last year, Washington, Malik, and then they got a 5-star recruit on the defensive end. So yeah, he might hurt you. I don't really care about Washington that much and Damon. Hopefully they're not on the same wavelength, on the same page at Washington, him and Jeff Fish. But Maryland, yeah. Yeah, I think they got something cooking at Maryland. I think Maryland should be in a different conference though, like the ACC or something. Y'all think so? Like, I don't know, Big Ten they just don't look right in there. I don't know when they joined, but they just don't look right in the Big Ten to me. They should be like a red school in the ACC. The AC don't have a lot of red schools in there. I don't think. I think NC State, maybe some others. I think Rutgers needs to get out too. I heard they lost 500 million. Just even joining the Big Ten, playing all these big schools, losing a lot of the times like they do. Because when they play these like big schools like Ohio State or like a USC, it's just, like everybody's turning that off. Like, and they know it's a win. So I don't know who their wins came against last year, but it's harder gonna recruit players to New York, and then Syracuse is taking guys too. So and then you have UCLA, my Nico Iamaiava, and then Bob Chesney's there too. So that one has some little bit more meaning to it. This time, we're at UCLA. Maybe they can have a crowd this year and have some fans hopefully in there. But yeah, this year, 11-2 or better, like or 11-2 or 12-1, man. That's what we're coming for. Or Lincoln Riley's out the door. It's gonna be hard coming into this playoff. Ohio State, I think they're gonna have a lot of. I don't know what the roster. Michigan, we have no Michigan on our roster. They got Michigan, so hopefully Bryce Young and Kyle Whittingham look a little different. But yeah, Ohio State, they might have a harder schedule than we do, but they might have some more losses on there. But yeah, 12-1 or 11-2 for Lincoln and Riley coming into next year. Cal is doing some stuff with Josh Lapoy or Tosh Lapoy, I think that's his name. Love to see that. Oregon's guys, coordinators are gone. Love to see that. But I like I like Dan Lanning. I thought he was going to take the Baltimore Ravens job, or I thought Baltimore was going to offer him the job because of how his mannerisms are just with college football and just his hypeness. I thought it fit with the Baltimore Ravens. So seeing how he lost the last game of the season to Indiana, I was like, okay, that's why they didn't go with them. But yeah, it's a crazy time in the college world, man. But I will see y'all later. Let me know what y'all record. What do you think of USC's record coming in the next year, or what your thoughts are on it? But yeah, I'm out of here.